Asmongold is being cancelled for saying the most ridiculous stuff on the internet. I'm already giving you a warning. This video is extreme. The topics are not easy to digest. If you're easily disturbed, please click off the video. But we're coming back to Asmongold and his views on, the whole situation between Palestine and Israel. And he came with some quite shocking things. I'm not going to waste your time anymore, we're just gonna dive straight into it.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now.
Whoa. So he's talking about Palestine, They have Sharia law built in their law system. Let's take a look. So, Palestinian law, I know, I'm on Wikipedia, they're not that trustworthy, I get it. But what are they saying? So if we take a look at the Palestinian law, yes, a couple of things from the Sharia law has been used in the Palestinian law. Basic law. According to Article 4, Islam is the official religion in Palestine. Respect and sanctity of all other heavenly religions shall be maintained. So the principle of saying that there's only one religion and all the rest is thrown outside the window is perhaps not true. I mean, on paper this looks good, of course, but it's in every country this way. People are always at war between religions. We're off topic too much. The principles of Islamic Sharia shall be the main source of legislation. Arabic shall be the official language. So yes, they use the Islamic Sharia law. But if we look up Sharia law with genocide together, we come to articles that is telling us about the human rights in Islamic State-controlled territory, and more importantly about how the genocide is always committed by a group named IS. I want you to understand, all Muslims agree on this thing. IS, they are not Muslims. They are terrorists, not Muslims. They tarnish the whole religion. They are the bad apples of the basket. But if we're gonna take this entire thing about Sharia law promotes genocide and all of these other things, then we're also going to say the same thing to Jewish people and their Talmud. I don't know if you have opened Twitter or X.com the recent days, but if you just search up the Talmud, you get to see some dubious things about what they have written about us, the non-Jews, the Goyims. You know what they write? Well, go look for yourself. But of course, let's take a step back. The Talmud has been mistranslated so many times. Take everything you see online with a grain of salt. It's X, for God's sake. You have no idea what they're talking about. Those translations are false, so on both sides we are uncertain of these things. If we're not going to interpret the Sharia law quite literally, then we're also not going to interpret the Talmud literally. So both sides have dirt on their shovel. Let's say that.
So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people.
Well, that's an overgeneralization. Are they all bad people? On which side are you on? I thought you were not taking any sides. But you kind of have a prejudice, huh? Look, not all Muslim people are bad. You've picked only the rotten apples. You're comparing them to ES members. Muslims are not ES. So are all the Palestinian children, are they all rotten to their core? Are they considered terrorists? What's up with that? They're all evil. No. This is ludicrous to say. You're not going to generalize an entire group. The same thing goes for Israel. Not all of these people are evil. You should judge based on an individual, not on a state.
It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right.
Really, 70 years of oppression. Those 70 years, they had all the chances they could get, and they haven't been doing that. You're telling me that in all of those years, they would annihilate the Jewish people, even in their weakest times. When they came on boats, they accepted them with open arms. And you're telling me that they're out there to unalive everyone. Come on, dude. Let's get back to reality. You are a streamer that is living in America. You're quite comfortable at home, perhaps not that comfortable. We know Asmongold has a lot of mental issues. Forming opinions while you're safe at the other side of the world, you shouldn't be taken that serious, you know? You can form your own opinion, that's your right. And we should listen to his opinion and try to argue with him and not just go to his throat. Like a lot of people on Twitter have been mad, have been molding about him, calling him a racist, calling him all different kinds of slurs. But let's remember, people, it's way better to put our energy into a good argument than to just blatantly hate on somebody. I'm trying to listen. I'm not trying to like headbutt into the argument. I'm trying to listen what he has to say, what his views and opinions are. You know, you can disagree or you can agree, I don't care, as long as you're civil about it. But let's continue.
These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Ooh, alright. That was a mouthful. And now my question comes to you. Is a different culture that is not your own inferior to yours? Is that a bias or not? Don't get me wrong, I would never want to live in Sharia law. I would not. If your identity is a little bit going to the LGBTQ side, you will get like judged. You will be condemned, I think.
It is an inferior culture in all ways.
Is it right to call it inferior because it isn't your own culture? I get his point about Sharia law. He doesn't like it, but I've never read somewhere about committing genocide in the name of Allah. What? Supporting a genocide for a certain group of people is so wrong on so many levels. They're not all evil. Perhaps you should be looking at the guys that are committing the genocide instead of the ones being murdered. I don't know. Perhaps look at the killers and not the ones that are being killed. It's such a mental gymnastic to say that the victims deserve it. Why do they deserve it? But again, can someone enlighten me about genocide being a part of Sharia law? I've never heard of such things. And so the responses on Twitter have been very, very mixed. I'm not going to show them. It's not even worth it. You have no idea what's really going on there. And to be fair, he doesn't have an idea. I don't have an idea. No one knows because it's so complex. We cannot describe this situation in just a 8-minute video. It's super complex. But one thing is certain, we know what the general population thinks about the whole, war. We're not stupid. To reiterate some points that he talked about in the video, there is no such thing as genocide written in the Palestinian law. When he was talking about genocide, he was talking about ISIS. About the whole other culture part, I'm not going to talk about it. It's their culture. Alright, this has been a heavy video. Let me know your thoughts about the situation because it's quite crazy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the next video isn't this heavy. Goodbye.